viewers, Crichton Prime here again, coming at you from Critey TV on Icon. Welcome to my next overview for Beast Wars Transformers. For this episode, the badass of the oceans has finally arrived to hunt down Rampage in Deep Metal. Chicken soup. Okay, first in this episode, we're introduced to the new layout of the Axolons fortifying the Ark with this new makeshift door, and they're still setting up, hoping for rescue someday. Rhinox is still hoping for the best, that hopefully a rescue ship will be there at some point. And meanwhile, another Maximal in the present day, in the future, is sort of hunting down Protoform X, aka Rampage. Just go along with it, please. Is hunting down Rampage, but in his case, Protoform X. But of course, when he's detected him, his ship gets sucked into a trans-warp anomaly. It gets changed to a trans-metal and crashes on Earth in the ocean, which Cheetor notices. And this new Maximal then scans a manta ray and becomes Depth Charge. I hate my life! Meanwhile, Rampage here is doing a sort of exercise with Inferno to attack the Maximal base. But of course, Rampage detects Depth Charge as my only Depth Charge, its presence on Earth, and goes off on his own, leaving Inferno behind to be disabled. And of course, poor Waspman has to go and salvage him on his own. And Rampage, tracking the ship down, the sunken ship, and shoots Cheetor down into the ocean. Goes to meet his old friend once again. And a Depth Charge is now in the form of a manta ray, and he also has this sort of little remote watch scanner, which is shaped like a shark. Which makes sense because they're both sharks and rays are related, and it's sort of also it serves as his handgun, but as a remote scanner, so he can see through it with his optics. He can see what the thing's seeing, and the first thing he sees is Cheetor sinking, so it essentially saves him. And he detects Protoform X and goes back in the ocean, and Cheetor's trying to fly back, but his wings are fried, so he officially declares he hates water. That's not water, it's soup. Okay, Depth Charge and Rampage have finally met. They're in the air with Depth Charge's new flight mode. It's a manta ray with wings, essentially. And they crash. Rampage kind of gets a spike through the chest, but because of Starscream's indestructible spark, which is replicated, he's fine. He can self-repair. But Depth Charge can't. And Rampage makes one of my favourite lines, which is, "Ignore the pain, it's going to get worse." And Depth Charge fights back, knocks Rampage out, sort of avenging the colony Omicron people. Long story. But Quick Strike takes Depth Charge down before he can finish Rampage off. But a couple of missiles soon to dispatch Quick Strike, and they find Depth Charge, and Rampage has gotten away. He's sneaky, isn't he, that crab? Also, it's a good thing the Maximals managed to salvage the CR chamber as well, otherwise they wouldn't have been able to repair Depth Charge back at base. And as a successful, they're trying to get answers. Well, Depth Charge is explaining that some kind of anomaly trashed his ship, and he was searching the galaxy for Primal's mistake, which is Protoform X. Of course, it was explained that Protoform X leveled the colony on colony Omicron, and Depth Charge survived, and he wasn't too happy about the Maximal Elder sparing him and turning him over to the Axolon instead. So Depth Charge is a bit of a rogue at this point. So even though he learns that they're with the Ark and that he's travelled back in time, he still goes off on his own to find X. And of course it's not revenge he's looking for. He says it's justice, which makes sense for the poor colonies. And so he says to Primal, and I quote, after learning there's more Predacons, when Primal screws up, he does it big time. Of course, he thanks him for the tip anyway, and he flies off. Of course, there was a time when Depth Charge wouldn't have left, but of course Rampage changed that. And of course Rampage is all too happy that his old playmate's finally with him again, so they can hope Depth Charge can enjoy his stay and that they'll have so much fun on Earth. And he declares this by destroying Depth Charge's ship. That's good. Hope you enjoy this episode when you see it, if you haven't already. Coming next, Rat Trap's in a cute little submarine in Changing of the Guard.